Welcome to The Explainer. If you're a Kent Business College apprentice, then this one is definitely for you. Today, we're diving deep into a really crucial skill for every Level 6 Project Controls apprentice, S11. Now, it sounds super technical, right? But really, it's all about your professional integrity. Think of it as the foundation for your entire career.
So, let's meet Jody. She's a Level 6 Project Controls apprentice at IBS Stores, and she's brilliant at what she does. Super smart, super driven. But she's hit a wall. She's looking at her portfolio and there's this one skill that's just got her completely stumped.
Yep, that's the one. Skill S11. Undertake work in accordance with ethics, codes of conduct, and duty of care. I mean, it's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? And let's be honest, it feels kind of vague, a little abstract. How on earth are you supposed to prove you can do that?
And that really is the big question, right? What does all this ethics and duty of care stuff actually look like day to day? It's not about just memorizing rules. It's about what you do when things get tricky. It's about building that reputation for being someone people can trust, which, by the way, is what will open doors for you for years to come. So come on, let's follow Jody's story and break this down. All right, here's our game plan. We're gonna follow Jody as she tackles the S11 challenge, figures out what her ethical compass is, faces a real test at work, gets some key advice from a mentor, learns how to turn her actions into evidence, and finally, how she nails her endpoint assessment. Okay, first things first. We're jumping in with Jody and her coach, Olivia. She's just trying to get her head around what this whole duty of care thing is really about.
So Olivia lays it out for her. Duty of care is basically your professional bedrock. It means you have a responsibility to be honest, to be transparent, and to be accountable for your actions. Every decision you make, whether it's about a budget, a schedule, anything, it has to be fair and built on a foundation of integrity. You're safeguarding the trust of everyone involved.
Now, it's one thing to see a definition on a slide, but it's a whole other thing to actually live it out when you're under pressure. And for Jody, well, that pressure is coming, and it's going to put her new understanding to the ultimate test. Her line manager, Riddle, walks up to her and says something like this. "Hey, Jody, my friend runs this amazing supplier company. They'd be perfect. Let's just make sure they get the contract." And boom, that's not just a friendly tip. That's a massive conflict of interest. A huge ethical red flag just went up. And there it is, that moment, that feeling in the pit of your stomach. Do you go along with your manager to make life easier, or do you stick to the process you know is right? This is exactly what Skill S11 is all about. It's not a theory anymore, it's real. Jody's feeling the pressure, but she does something really smart. She reaches out to her mentor, Adam. And Adam doesn't just tell her what to do, he gives her a framework, a roadmap to navigate this. Let's take a look. And this is just brilliant. Adam takes this messy, stressful problem and breaks it down into 4 clear steps. Step 1, just identify what's happening. Name it. It's a conflict of interest. Step 2, look at the rulebook. What does company policy say? Step 3, be accountable. Tell people what the fair process is and why you have to follow it. And finally, step 4, act with integrity. Just do the right thing, no bias. Okay, so armed with this clear plan, Jody handles the situation like a total pro. But here's the thing about your apprenticeship. Doing the right thing is only half the job. Now she has to prove it. She needs to get this experience documented in her Aptum portfolio.
And you can see exactly how she did it. She politely acknowledged her manager's idea, but pointed to the official policy. Then she created a scoring matrix, totally objective, to judge all the suppliers fairly. She ran the whole selection process transparently, documenting everything, and in the end, the best supplier got the job based on merit, not connections. Perfect. But how does that become evident?
This is where her coach, Olivia, comes back into the picture. Her job now is to help Jody translate those actions into the kind of powerful evidence that assessors are looking for. And honestly, this is the key to getting the credit you deserve for all your hard work.
Just look at how this works. Olivia shows her how to map everything for Aptem. That internal struggle and decision-making process, that's a reflection. The actual scoring sheet she built, that's a classic project example. And that email she sent to Riddle explaining the fair process, that's a compliance document. All of a sudden, it's not just a story anymore, it's a rock-solid, evidence-backed submission.
And what's so cool about this is that by handling this one situation so well and documenting it, Jody has, without even realizing it, done the perfect prep work for her endpoint assessment, the EPA. Because, when she gets to her EPA, the assessor is going to ask a question that sounds almost exactly like this one.
They want to hear a real story about how you managed a tricky situation while sticking to the rules.
So Olivia helps her prep her answer using the STAR method. It's so simple, but so effective. Situation: my manager suggested a supplier she knew. Task: my job was to ensure a fair process. Action: I created a scoring matrix and communicated the process. Result: we chose the best supplier, maintained our integrity, and kept everyone's trust. See? It turns her experience into this clear, confident story that just screams competent.
And this is probably the most important thing to take away from all this. It just took one single challenge. But because she handled it well and documented it brilliantly, it gave her all the evidence she needed to nail this skill.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. What does Jody's story mean for you as an apprentice trying to build your own ethical compass?
It really boils down to these 4 pillars. First, you've got to understand what ethics and duty of care really mean. Second, you have to act with integrity when a challenge pops up. Third, and this is huge, you've got to document your actions. That's your proof. And finally, you need to be able to communicate what you did, clearly and confidently.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. On the very next project you start, what's a potential ethical challenge that might come up? Don't wait for it to happen. Thinking about it now is the very first step to making sure you're ready to act with confidence. Thanks for tuning into this explainer, and we'll catch you on the next one.